So you can't talk about the iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max without talking about the triple camera setup on the back. There's a telephoto, a wide, and an ultra wide, and really they're gonna produce great results for either photos or video. Now, I had the opportunity to use this phone over the past 30 days very extensively, and I'm gonna tell you that I was not disappointed more than really just a handful of times when I'm taking a photo. And I think the instances where I was disappointed were pretty challenging from an environment standpoint. And I don't know if a camera phone would have, any camera phone would have done good. It just didn't, it didn't come out that well. So the best part about this is that, now when taking a photo with the iPhone 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, even the iPhone 11, is that you are getting consistent results, where with the last generation of the phone, you just did not get consistent results, where taking a photo in one moment would get you a different result in the next moment. And I think, it's really good. In my experience, the best 3 lenses that I found on a camera phone. So a couple things here that I appreciate about from a camera perspective from the device. All 3 lenses are calibrated at the factory, so you should see very little kind of color shifting between the lenses. If you're taking a photo with maybe a wide and an ultra wide, you see very little color shifting there, and the cameras should be able to seamlessly switch between any of the 3 lenses and only change the focal length of the lens, not have to worry about any type of color shifting or exposure setting, because that information is going to be sent from one lens to the other prior to you even performing the changes. So the second thing where Apple really improved on the cameras this year is going to be in night mode. Now I know every other manufacturer had night mode prior to Apple implementing it. Doing a comparison against the Note, the Pixel, and the iPhone, they're all doing it a little bit differently, and each of the photos look slightly different. And it's just a matter of preference, personal preference, which photos that you like more. The Pixel photos are going to be more punchy than the iPhone. I think the iPhones are going to be a little bit more, I would call them toned down, but more true to life in terms of the color representation that they're being reflected in the photo, and where the Notes just look different. They're somewhere kind of in between it too. The photos taken in night mode look pretty good. If you have the phone stabilized in a tripod, it's going to actually be able to take a longer exposure, pulling out more details from the photo over the course of up to 30 seconds. Now, like what I just took there, that is a 1 second exposed photo, where you can manually adjust that from 1 second up to 3 seconds. And if the phone detects that it is in, again, stabilization or it's stabilized, you're going to get up to 30 seconds. So if you have the opportunity, not that you're going to carry a tripod around, but get maybe a little mini tripod. I am using the Manfrotto Pixie, which works pretty well, and using the Glyph clip. So I would definitely recommend either one of those. Let's see how we can do this. So let's see if we can do this live. So we're going to shut this off. Yep, hold on. All right, so now we're shutting this off, and here we're looking at the camera here. Oops, sorry, wrong side. Here, this little yellow light is saying that we have night mode available, and it's going to be a 1 second timer. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but let's just try. Okay, so let's see that photo. That turned out pretty good. That turned out pretty good for being such a dark photo. Not gonna lie, I like it. So let's be honest and talk about the things I don't like. One is going to be that they're still using Lightning, and largely the world has moved on to USB-C. If you don't care about USB-C, I don't blame you, right? For most people, it's a non-event. But when you're talking about a device in the context of either professional or prosumer, which I think it's debatable which category this device falls into, USB-C is usually the conversation that comes up there. Now, I completely understand that this is not, or it doesn't have USB-C because there's no high-speed storage controller, which kind of connects to everything here. And the big detriment, really, at the end of the day, is that it still supports USB 2.0, which is a pain in the ass, right? I think Apple could have done better there. I don't necessarily agree with the idea that there's no 120 hertz ProMotion display, because that's not the intent of the device, right? So I would say just because it has the word Pro in the name doesn't mean it's going to be used in the same context of other devices that have Pro in the name. For example, the MacBook Pro, it obviously has the word Pro in it. Do you have the ability to draw on the screen like you do an iPad Pro? No, you don't. That's the kind of example that you should, conclusion you should come to. Just because it has the word Pro, they're used in many different, scenarios or different use cases. Now, in reality, the differences between camera quality are going to be few and far between because it's really going to be situational or based on the context that you're in as a photographer or as a videographer or someone who's shooting photo and video. If you don't find yourself in the scenarios where you need to zoom in, where you cannot sneaker zoom, right? You cannot walk closer to your subject and you actually have to use optical zoom, then the iPhone 11 Pro is really going to be the device for you. But at that $300 difference, I don't know if it's really worth it. I think I just give my feet a workout there and zoom in closely.